Religion, science, politics, international corporations. It seems everyone has a stake in making women feel dissatisfied with themselves. Is there any way to rise above the fray? In some cultures, I discovered that the women and their bodies were regarded very differently. From childhood, girls were taught to work their bodies and become masters of their uteruses. Exercising the uterus decreased the pain of childbirth, and in some cases, even made it orgasmic. If childbirth without pain was possible, then menstruation should be a piece of cake. So why did these practices disappear? I found a woman who not only seemed to know the secret, but was sharing it.
Yo puedo visualizar mi útero en movimiento y puedo tener efectos de un útero trabajado como un bíceps. Esto es una creencia personal. Por una falta de control, de conexión con estas zonas, a lo mejor te cuesta, no puedes subir. Tira desde aquí hacia arriba y hacia abajo. Y yo noto cómo trabajo esta parte interior. Y es que sientes tu útero acariciado, sientes tu útero en movimiento. Y esos efectos se van a dar.
Curious to see if it would work for others, I set up an experiment. I organized a group of women, all of whom experience menstrual problems, to participate in a belly dance therapy class.
Y el problema ha sido que siempre me ha dado muchísimo dolor, incluso de faltar al trabajo. He llegado a marearme, o sea, de perder el conocimiento, de bajarme la tensión y caerme redonda pues en el metro, o etcétera. Y además de que la odio, quiero decir, me corta lo que es mi vida, además de que no son los 3 días que dura. O sea, es que 4 o 5 días antes empieza la juerga.
Y me asusté tanto que creía que me estaba muriendo de los dolores. Le dije a mi novio que llamara al médico porque estaba fatal, no sabía lo que me pasaba, vomité y bueno, fui al ginecólogo, me dijeron que estaba todo normal, estaba todo bien, pero me parece bastante extraño, ¿no? Que a medida que voy creciendo cada vez me duele más.
La menstruación a los 11 años, con muchísimo dolor, o sea, en la cama vomitando hecha polvo. Así durante unos años hasta que me coincidió el periodo con un viaje con mis padres. Entonces mi padre es médico y me dijo, pues nada, tómate esta pastilla y una copa de coñac. Y entonces de repente fue como, joder, no me duele y además qué bonito todo, ¿no? Y entonces a partir de ahí estaba deseando que me llegara la menstruación para verlo todo tan bonito, ¿no? La verdad es que tuve un problema con el alcohol bastante serio, que salí gracias al tai chi, pero hay días que me tengo que tomar la ginebraza, la pastilla, y voy un poco a mi clase, un poco catatónica. Y pues eso, muy, muy duro, la verdad. Y muchos años. Estoy deseando que me llegue la menopausia ya.
Me voy a responsabilizar de mostraros un recurso más allá de la pastilla, ¿no? Que es un recurso que está dentro de vosotras. Y a través de la danza podemos ir descubriendo qué nos está diciendo nuestro cuerpo.
If some things are sacred, if there are to be rules in life, it's always seemed to me that the place to start is with the body. That if the body isn't sacred, then you can forget other kinds of rules. You know, there's not going to be any culture. So the very potency of woman's blood, which used to connect her with the sacred, is now the source of her disconnection and her disempowerment. And, you know, keeping women from understanding the power of menstruation and the potential for togetherness that being female could confer, that is the most central, deepest, most ancient thing, is to stop women from knowing about their own power. But it's linked up. It's linked up with everything else, which keeps us from understanding our potential as human beings.
Hearing those words lifted my spirits and opened a window on a new way of looking at things. Watching TV as a child, I believed menstruation blood to be blue. Alas, years later, what I discovered in my panties wasn't a mysterious sterile blue liquid, but disappointing red blood. Terrified of stains, women double up on protection. Our fear fuels the feminine hygiene industry that grows by billions every year. In her lifetime, one woman uses 10,000 pads and tampons. Every day, 3 million are flushed into our rivers and oceans. 20% of world pesticide production is used on the cotton in a manufacturing process.
And so, if it's not good to have something in the vagina during the menstruation,
Yes.
what about tampons?
They're very unhealthy to use. It is the cotton that absorbs not only the blood, but it absorbs all the liquid in the vagina, and therefore it changes the climate and makes it more susceptible to any kind of infection or maybe even the candida. And also the flow is being inhibited. It is much better to let it flow out or use this which has been around for the last 30 years. It's like a rubber container called the keeper or the moon cup, which is a receptacle that collects the blood. It doesn't absorb it, but just collects it. And it should be wet, and then you insert it in the vagina, it opens, and then it sits in front of your cervix, and the blood just trickles in. And then depending on your flow, how heavy it is, you have to empty it every time you go to the bathroom to take a leak.
No es una cosa mucho de hablar, ¿no? No es una cosa un poquito asquerosa, ¿no?
¿Qué asquerosa?
¿No?
¿Te parece asqueroso?
Es una cosa fea, ¿no?
¿Por qué?
Pero porque es suciedad que echa por ahí, ¿no?
Menstruation, despite being a symbol of womanhood, is perceived as dirty. So what does this say about being a woman? Feminists themselves examined the issue from all sides. For some, menstruation wasn't just a natural process, but a political choice.
In the 1970s, with the women's movement, the female body was the main target. We wanted to, say, de-biologize the female body. They said the female body is her destiny. Woman's destiny is biology and so on. What does the pill tell to my generation and to further generations? It tells you better program your body because it doesn't fit into the demands of functioning rationality. Because there is something in this movement in which you can't always fit.
If this is a world made for men with these clocks, but you are somebody with, a menstrual cycle, that really is a problem. It really is a clash. And the problem is that you are biologically female. And so the medical establishment and the people who make Tampax, they say, okay, there's a problem. You've got a clock in your body. Well, how do we solve it? Well, you can give you a pill. Maybe you can be as good as a man if you take the pill. Then you don't have these ups and downs.
And the history of the pill and the programming, just linear time, we are always the same. And if Pinkos would decide we reprogram it so we never bleed, they can make it. Always straight.
I wasn't convinced, but a seed of doubt was planted. Could menstruation be noxious? Would I be better off taking artificial hormones? I needed a second opinion.
Most of my early discussions with pharmaceutical companies were somewhat unproductive. I mean, I did a lot of this research in the 80s, and I spent many years trying to contact pharmaceutical companies and to advise them that they should be thinking about how much exposure to hormones are women getting from their products compared with what women are getting from their own bodies. But I think there are many women who will want to be educated on this and to realize that the monthly period is not required, but also there's more homework for the pharmaceutical companies to do to really level with women and tell them what is the exposure that they're getting from the patch or the pills that they're offering compared with what the woman is getting from her own body, so that she can weigh the risks and the benefits. Because there are some benefits to these hormones, as I mentioned, with estrogen, a lower risk for osteoporosis, and then there are also costs, increased risk for breast cancer, and if the levels go up really high, increased risk for stroke.